They said the vault would never be opened, that what was inside wasn't meant for human eyes. For decades, the world heard only whispers about its existence, faint echoes hidden inside private archives, silent mansions, and government records that pretended to forget. They called it the Vault of Echoes, a poetic name for something built out of fear. But one day, someone opened it, and what was found inside changed everything we thought we knew about power, control, and the true nature of civilization. The vault wasn't just made of steel, it was made of forgetfulness. 7 codes protected it, each tied to a person who no longer exists. The last code was found by accident, in a torn letter that was never meant to be read. Inside, there was no gold, no jewels, no ancient artifacts. There was information, and that was the true treasure. Data, names, plans, and most dangerously, ideas. Ideas that could build empires or erase them. Among the yellowed pages was a dossier marked with a single word: projection. It explained how the elite discovered that the most efficient way to control humanity was in through force, but through desire. If you control what people want, you never need chains. People will trap themselves willingly. It was a plan that began with art, filtered through economics, and ended in the human soul. The world became a stage, and we, its actors, unaware of the script being written behind the curtain. A 1949 experiment detailed in one file exposed 12 individuals to subliminal messages for 90 days. The result: complete behavioral transformation without their awareness. It was the first seed of mass psychological control. Another report, dated 1962, spoke of a system of mental surveillance hidden beneath entertainment. Make them laugh, make them compete, and they will give you everything. One line read. Then came the Delta file, a collection of transcripts between bankers, psychologists, and communication engineers. They spoke about designing a global behavioral mechanism to turn society into a predictable organism, obedient, self-monitoring, eternally distracted. Their language was cold, precise, almost scientific. Reduce human noise, standardize emotion, optimize desire. It was the blueprint for the world we now live in, a world that feels free, yet isn't. Even more unsettling were references to technologies that didn't yet exist. Neural networks, behavioral simulations, the economy of attention, all of it written in the 1970s. It was as if someone had mapped the future decades in advance and then shaped reality to follow the design. One audio recording recovered from the vault contained a distorted male voice whispering, "We no longer need bars. People have learned to watch themselves." That sentence defines our century. Today, we are not imprisoned by walls but by distractions. We live under a smiling tyranny, a dictatorship disguised as freedom. People believe they're choosing, but their choices are chosen for them. Another notebook, handwritten and signed only V, described meetings with politicians, scientists, and artists, all following a shared plan to create a new humanity, programmable, predictable, and emotionally engineered. At its core was something called the formula of the masses. It said, to control a crowd, you don't need force, just give them too much freedom. The mind collapses when everything is possible. The elite understood that too much choice creates confusion, and confusion creates obedience. They built a world where everyone feels free but lives inside invisible walls. We scroll endlessly, fight for illusions, chase validation, and call it progress. But while we're distracted by the noise, someone else writes the script. That's when the story turns darker. In 2018, a mysterious group calling themselves the Restorers leaked fragments of the vault's contents online. Scanned documents appeared briefly on anonymous servers, diagrams, codes, and strange phrases. One read, "When the light enters, the theater ends." The leak caused silent panic. Sites were wiped, journalists vanished, and the archives disappeared within hours. But like all forbidden knowledge, traces survived, scattered across hidden networks. And that's why this message exists. Because someone must speak what others buried. If you're hearing this, it's not by accident. It's because you can feel deep down that something in this world is wrong. That people are becoming the same. That freedom feels hollow. That reality seems scripted. And maybe you already know, none of this is natural. The vault didn't just hold files, it held a mirror. Inside were methods to program emotion, create crises to profit from chaos, and transform fear into currency. Everything calculated, everything intentional. The masses drown in noise, while the elite study silence. They know that whoever controls attention controls destiny, and that's why this channel exists, to lift the curtain. So if you want to see the next fragment, subscribe now, because every new video is another piece of this puzzle, and what's coming next is even darker. At the bottom of the vault, there was a smaller lead box, sealed with red wax. Inside, a single piece of paper. When humanity learns to look within, the vault will lose its meaning, a prophecy, or a warning. Maybe the true secret of the elite was never their power, but their fear. Fear that one day, humanity would realize that real power lies within. The vault wasn't just a container of secrets, it was a reflection of us. A civilization that traded awareness for comfort. We built our own prison and called it progress. Perhaps the vault was never real. Perhaps it was always inside our minds, locked by illusions we mistake for truth. But each time someone questions, a lock breaks. Each time someone wakes, light enters. Their control depends on our silence. The moment we understand that, the game changes. The vault has been opened. The files are in the light. Now, the rest depends on us. If you want to keep uncovering what lies behind the veil, what powerful names tried to erase, subscribe now and turn on the bell. Not just to listen, but to remember. Because some truths, once seen, can never be unseen. The elite fear only one thing, the truth spoken aloud. And that's why this voice exists, to echo what they tried to silence. The vault is open, and what echoes from within isn't their fear, it's the awakening of your own power.